this is Pixie doing another video. I'm going to talk about Betty Price, if this person was ever real. Sounds kind of a bit generic. It's like something Smith or something. There we go. So basically I was going to investigate. I thought to myself, you've got to do something interesting, even though it's a bit more interesting for your channel as well. So maybe you should go stay at maybe a place that's considered haunted, like a haunted hotel, or places actually got ghosts. Now often they would say about ghosts for the tourist industry, just to sort of spice things up, get people to come in. Neighbouring sort of town to where I live is Pangbourne, and in Pangbourne there's a George Hotel, and I was looking around and saw that, and it talks about a girl called, I think it's either a girl, there's not much information, but it's called Betty Price, and the rumours has it is that she was found in the basement, and that she was feeding on rats down there, and she was considered a witch, and she was tried as a witch and killed, but she left a curse on the hotel or whatever. That basically she was accused of doing black magic and stuff. However true that is, I don't know. However, I'm sure it's a church parish, so the church is a pretty would be the authority in the area, and using that kind of rhetoric, you're a witch and stuff. I mean, it's painted as if she was caught with it, and it's like stuff I was reading on the internet. I think actually what happened was probably a homeless woman they didn't like, and she may have possibly broken in to sort of stay in there during the sort of cold or bad weather, and then she was targeted as a witch. I mean, she was eating rats, and she was probably sort of a little bit feral, and it may be sort of lifestyle. It could be that she was abused quite heavily. There might be the more innocent side of this Betty. I mean, from a kind of like a spiritual, maybe you could say it's like psychic reading. Bethany, I think, as a name comes up. Bethany Price, and pretty much what I told you is more in line, and that is kind of what would happen is that with these church type authorities that turn around and say, there's got to be some witches in your area, there's got to be some black magic, there's got to be something not quite right. We need more people to go to, well, they will attend church anyway, but if they didn't attend church, then they'd probably raise suspicion, and that's probably what it is. She was excluded from the church in that sense, so therefore she must be something wrong with her. She must be evil, which isn't probably nice. And it's not so different nowadays. I mean, people still getting sidelined for being different. I guess we all do it with people that are maybe homeless or beggars and things like that. We sort of shut them away. I mean, I have given money to beggars before, but I have to be, in my mind, I have to know this person is actually genuine, and there's just so many people are not. I had a bloke the other day, a Polish bloke. He said he's lost his job, and he's got no home. And I'm thinking, well, why the hell did he come here then? I mean, yeah, they had money to travel over here, and now he's stuck here. But I didn't think that's genuine at all. I think it's more a case he's turned to drink. They assume there's going to be lots of work, and because he's unreliable, because he's a drinker, nobody wants to employ him. There's just this idea that the UK is desperate for workers, and well, actually they've got loads of people sat on their backsides who haven't got jobs, and nowadays with all the lockdown stuff, it's and coming out of that back in and so on, it's going to be a lot more competitive because the market's going to be more IT structured. So if you're coming over here looking for building work, casual building work, we're not going to be there. So going back to Betty Price. So I might do is I might stay there the night. Actually, that'd be interesting to stay there later. And the other thing to check out would be the local graveyard. I doubt there'll be a grave that say Betty Price on it, but if there is, then it kind of established the narrative of someone that existed. It's unlikely if she was an actual witch that she would have a gravesite. It's likely also that she might have just been drowned in the local river, which is around the corner from the hotel anyway, and that's quite a scary thing, because they would have just tried her as a witch and, like I say, dunked her in and then drowned her, and that would confirm if she is or isn't. And I guess really, if she died and she was wrongly accused, then she may get buried, but if it comes at the cost of the church, probably not, because it's holy ground, so you can only be really, if you're considered worthy of the church. But the kind of towns where these quiet towns, it has a kind of feel like easily a cult could exist there, and it's a place where people who maybe have got some money would like that seclusion. So it's a kind of area that's has potential. I'd say has potential for maybe cults. Like I mentioned, there's a parish council. I'll look into the history of the place as well, and the history of Pangbourne, and see what comes up. I mean, it's a kind of weird place. I mean, I've seen things across the river, and they said, oh, they're planes turning around some sort of marker or something, and they just look like little orbs in the distance, and I'm thinking, well, it looks weird to me. I mean, why would they be I think they say they're turning in the distance to go to Heathrow. It's difficult to gauge the distance, but it means that when I'm looking into the sky, I'm looking over 50 miles away. Objects that are generating light and picking them out, so that might be true or might be not. I mean, I guess I know I can see bloody stars light years away, but it's just kind of like seeing something sideways might be difficult. So yeah, it'd be interesting to do a little bit of investigation. There's probably a lot of towns that have things going on which are not really investigated, and it's nice to investigate things with just open eyes, not because I want to prove something. So I can tell what I read about the George Hotel. It was renovated at some point, 1200s, so it's got a long history there, and I probably need to find out a bit more about it. Anything else that's going on at the moment? I'm not a moan about crypto, but I think with crypto just make safe investments. I think there's puppeteers in the background pulling strings, and they can set these. You can copy codes and make up these sites. I mean, it's different sites that basically on the APY they pay out gives you an idea of how secure they are. If they've got crazy APY, then they likely provide you in their own native token, which could be subjected to a rug pull at any time, and that's what they might do. The members might run it while it's profitable, and then when it's not, pull out, and funds get liquidated. I mean, there's no insurances, so just want us to be aware of. And the other thing I don't agree with necessarily, people take loans on loans, so they borrow money, they borrow crypto, they put it in there, they keep it in their account, and then with the added crypto they can borrow more on top of that, so it's like 80, between 80 and 70% of what they got in there they can borrow against. And what that's going to cause, I mean, if you borrowed another well, I guess if you put 70% in there and you borrow another 60%, the thing is the interest rates for owning them and just keeping them in the account is higher than the borrow rates, which sounds nuts. So if you borrow something and it's got a 7% sort of interest on it, and to actually stake it, it's got got like 14%. We're always going to gain 7%. So it's But the only problem with that is the market changes. When the market changes, that changes. When Bitcoin goes up, it will go down the interest rate. I'm not too sure if, well, basically, if you borrow something and it's the value of the asset, let's say it was £10 and it goes up to £15, you're not necessarily quids in because it's not scaled against your native currency. Like for me, it's like the pound or something. So the British pound. So your asset going up and down may be irrelevant because you might think, oh well, I've got more money now, so if I sell it, I could, you know, buy whatever, and you know, I'll wait till it dips, and then I can. But because they're trading directly in the asset as a currency, so it doesn't not subject to same pan. I think it's keen for people to have a mass adoption. But the first thing you do, I mean, it's what the banks do. They say, do you want some money? Do you want to? You can take a loan out. And then the first loan will be nice, and then the next loan, when you can't have trouble paying it off, won't be, and so you get yourself caught in a debt trap. But anything is with it, there's no, it's not regulated in the same way. I don't think there's actually a limit to paying it back. But what it does subject it to is liquidation. What a waste of time, people blocking the road off for the school or something. I can't imagine there's loads of people that are ploughing down this road as a shortcut. Oh well. Anyway, that's my financial advice is just be cool, do some research, don't get caught too much in the hype, or what they call FUD. It's a bit like I've got an investment. So SafeMoon's great. It pays me these tokens for holding it. However, it's pays me tokens for holding it, but the value hasn't actually gone up. It did originally. I mean, I put in £100 and it went up to £200. I thought, brilliant. So I put another 50 in it, and it sort of, or whatever. It basically was, I was at for about £300 worth, and then it dropped down to 100 with this crash. And slowly it's gone down to 100. I mean, it probably went down by half, and then it's at 100 in value. And at the moment it's kind of consolidating. Oh, what? I can't have all this nonsense. Got some big truck or something in the way. Let's have a look. Got to reverse out. Is there any spaces? No, that's fine. I'm not going there. I ain't fucking going there. Anyway, peace on off. Have a great one. Speak to you then. Bye.